Awesome. Thanks everyone for joining us for our info session for our Master's in Information Technology program today. We've got lots of really good information for you, so really excited to get to have this discussion. I will first just go into who we have on this call with us today. My name's Natalie Deal. I'm an enrollment services advisor for this program. So I'm here to just provide all the program information, help you through the application process, just be a resource while you're collecting all of your documents and deciding if this program is right for you. We also have our program director here who I will let introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jess Kropczynski. I'm a faculty member in the School of IT, and I'm also the current graduate program director.
Thanks so much. These are some of the topics that we are going to be talking about today. We'll go into some of the highlights of the program, the bridge courses, which might be an option for some people who don't have a background in IT. We'll talk a little bit more about the curriculum, as well as the culminating projects that are available at the end of the program. There's also a couple of certificate options that go along with this program, so we'll give you some information there. We'll go a little bit into the Master's to Tech industry transition, as well as the admission requirements and the deadlines for this program. And then finally, we'll get into the financial side of the tuition and financial aid and scholarships and all of that good stuff. And I will hand that on over to Jess to start the program highlights.
Thank you. So, some of the things that make our program unique are that we have really supportive faculty. We're also a top rated program. So, we have industry experienced instructors. So, some of them are coming directly from IT industry or have experience of doing or being consultants with IT industry or are currently consultants with IT industry. You'll also find support and guidance needed to be successful in the IT field. Our online program is also currently ranked as by U.S. News and World Report as as a top 10 program, and we're also ranked highly by onlinemastersdegrees.org. As far as your career outlook with a master's in IT, according to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, the demand for computer and information technology fields is expected to grow at a rate of 15% in the next 10 years, and the annual median salary is in the six-figure range, which is nearly the double of annual wages for all occupations. We have start to graduation support, so every enrolled student is going to be assigned a dedicated team that's going to provide you with one-on-one support. They're going to be your partners who can help you manage your time and ensure that you're meeting degree requirements along the way. We also have flexible scheduling, so we offer both part-time and full-time options with 3 start dates a year, so in fall, spring, and summer. And our program is 100% online, and it's designed for busy working professionals in mind. Next, I'm going to tell you about some of our bridge courses. So, for those students that are coming to us with a degree outside of IT, we have 4 classes that you can use to replace a 4 year undergraduate program. And what I mean by that is that if you were trying to apply for a master's in math or a master's in English, that you would have to have a corresponding undergraduate degree. So, you're unlikely to get into a master's in math without having an undergraduate degree in math. However, you can get into the University of Cincinnati Master's in Information Technology without an undergraduate degree in IT. And so, what we'll do is take a look at your transcripts and assign between 1 to 4 bridge courses if you have a degree outside of IT, or if you have less than a 3.0 in IT in your undergraduate career. And so, we've picked 4 classes that are we see as being the essentials in order to move forward and be successful in a master's degree. And so the added benefit of these classes is that if you take all 4 of them, you can demonstrate that you have or a certificate that represents your time taken on those classes. So they won't count towards the 30 credit hour requirement. They are prerequisite classes to make sure that you're prepared for the MSIT. But if you take all 4 of them, they'll show up. You can apply to have them show up on your transcripts or as a certification that you have in information technology. We have another graduate certificate, and that's the Data Driven Cybersecurity Certificate. This is designed to give you the cybersecurity concepts and ability to analyze cyber threats and respond to incidents. It's again just 4 classes, all completely asynchronous online, and they're hosted. Some of them you'll be using resources available through the Ohio Cyber Range Institute, and so you'll be able to get used to some of those resources, and you will receive a graduate level IT certificate if you're taking these classes while you are in the MSIT. So, all of our students will have to take some elective courses. You have the option to take these 4 classes, and then you could graduate with both an MSIT and a graduate certificate in data driven cybersecurity. So now we're going to talk about the MSIT curriculum. So we designed our curriculum with these things in mind. First, we want to introduce all of our students to the breadth of the field of IT. You'll get that in the IT seminar. And so this class, you're going to be hearing from IT industry professionals. We have guest lectures from many different sectors. And they're going to tell you about their experience in that field, help introduce you to that domain. So if you're not quite sure what area of specialization within IT you're most interested in, you can kind of get a sense from somebody working in that space. Then we want all of our graduates to have necessary problem solving skills to be good problem solvers and leaders in this space. So there's 2 classes that we pair with that. One is IT research methods. And we're not emphasizing research because we want all of our graduates to become scholars. The majority of our graduates are working in IT industry. They're either currently working in IT industry or when they graduate, they're going to go on to industry and not academia. And the purpose of having a research methods background is to ensure that when you are creating IT solutions, that you are creating solutions that are evidence based, that you're not just taking the first thing that shows up on Stack Overflow as a possible solution and applying it, that you are critically analyzing an IT solution in order to ensure that your IT solution doesn't make the wrong kind of headlines. The other thing is we emphasize human computer interaction and usability as another class that's going to be related to problem solving. And so this emphasis is we understand that all IT solutions are going to be used by humans for the most part, and we want to create solutions that inspire joy rather than frustration. We also understand that you need hands-on technical skills in order to get a job in IT. And so all of our students will be taking elective courses that are in those hands-on technical skills. So that's going to be somewhere between 5 and 6 classes, and that can directly corresponds to whatever your final trajectory is, whether it's a capstone or a thesis. So thesis track students are going to take 5 classes. A capstone track student, which is the majority of all of our students, are going to take 6 elective courses. Those elective courses are things that they are in focus areas such as cybersecurity, networking, gaming, cloud computing, and other areas. And the final communication pathway, that's going to be your culminating project, and that's the opportunity for you to demonstrate one that you can create an IT solution, but that you also have the necessary communication skills to be able to articulate the good work that you're doing.
Awesome. Just looks like we've got a couple of questions in the chat, so I'm just going to jump in super quickly here. What does a typical class look like? How does it fit into my life as a full-time employee with a family?
So during the fall and spring semester, we have 15 weeks of classes and 1 week of exams, and in the summer it's just a 13-week semester. But every one of our online class, there are not going to be any synchronous class meetings. Instead, the class will be delivered by the Canvas online learning management system. You're going to log in. You're going to see, all of the materials that you need, and so you might start the week by viewing. You'll see an overview. There'll be some resources to go over. Those could be some online videos. They could be some, training materials or practice assignments. And then you'll have some deliverables due within that module. And so those are going to be things like a hands-on technical lab or a small written discussion post or something like that. And at the end of the semester, there's typically some type of application of all the skills that you've had within the class. And that'll be some kind of a report where you're either demonstrating a machine learning algorithm that you worked on, or some data that you analyzed, a cybersecurity solution, and you might be working that on that as an individual or together with a group. And our assignments are typically based around the working schedule of professionals, so they're usually due like at midnight on a Sunday.
Awesome. Thank you. Can I do any focus areas within this master's program?
Yes, and so the biggest call out is going to be that grad certificate in cybersecurity, and so that's one where you can have it actually show up as being a that graduate certificate, and that's going to be through 4 classes. However, we do have a lot of classes that, when taken together as a group, you will have that sort of focus on either cloud computing, data mining, or machine learning. We also have some classes even related to games.
Great. Are there any professional development or co-op opportunities?
There are. So the University of Cincinnati is known as one of the number one programs in the country for co-op, and so we're working directly with their co-op office. They offer a 1 credit hour class specifically for MSIT students. They will introduce you to some of the things that are most important to know about IT industry. They will also give you or they're going to give you tailored feedback on your resume and a few other professional development skills to be ready for industry when you graduate. They're also going to give you, if you take that class, you'll be given access to the PAL database, which is a database of co-op and full-time employment opportunities where there's recruiters that have had success with MSIT graduates in the past, and they make sure that their postings all get listed in that database so that they can scoop up more MSIT graduates.
Awesome. What is the average number of courses students typically take each semester?
Our full-time students typically take between 4 and 5 classes a semester, whereas our part-time students typically take 2 or 3 classes a semester, and that might include some summers.
Perfect. And then lastly, what are some careers I can go into with this degree?
So, a graduate of the MSIT program is going to be really well situated to be an IT project manager. If you, depending on your emphasis area, you could be if you do that data-driven cybersecurity certificate, you would be well suited for a position like an information security analyst, or even like a intelligence specialist. We've had some of our graduates go on to be network engineers, software developers, data analysts, cloud architects or engineers, IT managers or directors, or even CIOs.
Awesome. That is it for the chat for now if we want to move to the next slide.
So, at the end of your degree in your final semester, you're going to complete a culminating project. And so that could be one of 3 pathways. So, 2 are related to the capstone. And as I already mentioned, by default, all of our MSIT students are going to be in the capstone track. And then the other would be the thesis. So, the first option, and this is what I would say a lot of our students do, is they do a class facilitated capstone project. And so this would be for someone who is interested in working, like, or just enrolling in a class in their final semester. They'll come up with an IT problem that they're most interested in solving and come up with an IT solution to solve it. They'll come up with some literature to demonstrate this is definitely a problem that needs to be solved, come up with a solution, and write a report about that full process by the end of the semester. And so, as I said, those students are mentored by a faculty member, whereas we have another track, which is an industry partnered capstone project. And so, for that industry partnered capstone project, if you have a current employer or engaged in a co-op opportunity, you can use that, where instead of being mentored by a faculty member, you'll more or less be mentored by your supervisor at your job. And so, instead of proposing a topic like within a class, either right before or in the first week of your final semester, you're going to let us know an IT problem that is faced by your company, as well as a solution that you're working on. And if approved, then you won't give updates or deliverables to a faculty member throughout the course of the semester. You'll be giving them to your supervisor, and then at the end of the semester, you'll turn in a shorter report on what you accomplished during the semester. That final pathway is an option that's less taken. It's because so many of our students are interested in industry. For those students who are interested in going into research and development within industry, or they're interested in after the master's pursuing a PhD, then they may be interested in having completed a thesis. This is more of an involved project. That's why it's 6 credit hours as opposed to 3. For this, you'll be working one on one, mentored by a faculty member. You'll have to seek out that faculty member that you want to work with on this project within your first semester, and you'll sort of be working throughout your time in the program, having regular meetings with that faculty member. You'll be reviewing literature on the IT problem that you want to work on, solutions that have been trialed in the past, and propose a novel solution that no one has ever looked at before. And you will write a publication quality paper on your trial of the IT solution that you're interested in exploring, and what happened when you trialed it. The Masters to Tech Industry Transition Program is something that we've really been emphasizing within the past few years. So we're very interested in helping our graduates seamlessly transition from tech industry into into industry, or seamlessly transitioning into industry, and we're doing that by making sure we're combining this rigorous coursework with a hands-on co-op and capstone project. And so, what this looks like is that typically within your first or second semester, you're going to take that professional development class that's going to help you to tailor your resume. And then you're going to get access to that PAL database. You're going to apply for a co op or a full time job in IT industry. And you can participate in a co op, although it's not required. And in your final semester, we're hoping that you will do a capstone project with impact, which would mean that you're actually engaging in a capstone that's going to be industry partnered. And so those are going to be things that you're going to be able to, not just have an MSIT, but also have, this portfolio and project and actual career experience to have on your resume at the end of your time in the program.
Awesome. We'll go ahead and continue on with the admission requirements. Now that you've got a little bit more information on the program, maybe you have a better idea about whether this program is right for you. So the qualified applicants for this program, obviously it is a graduate program, so they'll have at least a completed bachelor's degree. This program also does require at least a 3.0 minimum GPA. If you are slightly below that and you're aiming to just kind of improve your application a little bit, you'd be more than welcome to take the GRE. If you have above a 3.0, it is not required to take the GRE. For the application process, unofficial transcripts are fine, but once you are accepted into the program, we would need those officials just showing that you've earned your degree before you get too far along the registration process. We do also require a resume as well as 3 letters of recommendation. Those letters of recommendation should be from people you've known either professionally or academically, and you should know them for at least a year before you have them fill those out. Also, for our planners out there, those are not letters that you should be collecting ahead of time. In the application portal, you will just enter in your recommenders' names and email addresses, and then we send them an email where they can directly upload their letter about you to your application. So it's not something that you personally will be collecting, but it is good to always have that group of people that you think that you can ask to write those for you. And then lastly, in the application portal, there are 3 program-specific essay questions that we'll have you answer. Those are about IT background, related background, why you want this program specifically, why our school specifically, kind of your passion behind the field. So those are just some things you should be prepared to touch on when going through the application process. All right, and here we will move on to our academic calendar. For this program, we do 3 start dates in a calendar year. So we do the traditional fall and spring, which would be August and January. And we also continue full on through the summer. So you'd be more than welcome to just continue taking classes year round. That would help you get through the degree a little bit faster. For our fall start date, that typically starts the end of August, and that application would be due kind of early to mid-August. Our January start date is usually the end of that first week of January, and that application would be due early to mid-December. We do take a little bit of a break over the holidays, so we want to make sure everyone has time to get everything in. And then for our summer, that semester typically also starts kind of beginning of that second week of May, and that application would either be due at the very beginning of May or the end of April. If you scan this QR code, it takes you right to our website, where it is always up to date with our upcoming start date as well as the deadline for that semester. And then on to tuition. As of June 2024, we currently are at $746 for our per credit hour for Ohio residents and $761 for non-residents. Full time for this is going to be 4 classes. So if you took at least 4 classes, you would be paying that $74.51 or $76.01. If you decided to take 3 classes or less, you'd be paying that per credit hour. Again, if you scan this QR code, there is a whole tuition calculator on our website that will help you get the most up-to-date information there as well. And I do actually see a question in the chat of if there are any specific scholarships for MSIT students. You want to touch that one, Jess?
Yes, our program, the School of Information Technology, does offer um, uh, uh, a 25% scholarship to some of our top applicants to the program.
Awesome, thank you. And I know I do have a little bit of information on that on the next slide. Yes, so right here, it's usually around 50% of top applicants. This is not something you apply for separately. This is something you are put into the running for when you confirm your spot in the program. So this is kind of a happy thing that you find out before starting the program and not a whole other application process. We do also have a scholarship for active military and veterans. If this is something you think you might be eligible for, we definitely recommend reaching out to your VA rep. They can help you get your certificate of eligibility already, so we can have all of the paperwork that we need to verify that you are eligible for this. But you could get up to $2,500 a semester for being active military or veteran. Perfect. And then we do also have a university to business initiative where we partner with different employers to give their employees specific percent off tuition scholarships. We currently have over 100 partners. So if you have any questions about whether or not your employer is eligible for this, definitely feel free to, again, scan that QR code, get in contact with any of the enrollment advisors for this program, and we'd be more than welcome to check on that for you. If you are not already partnered with us, we're always looking for new partners. So we can also give you all of the information you'll need to pass along to your employer to help set these agreements up. These tend to be between 5 and 20%, depending on the size of the company. But we do, like I said, already have over 100 partners. So we would love for you guys to be able to take advantage of this. And also for this, if your employer is qualified, it works for dependents and spouses as well. So if you are younger or if you are married, definitely feel free to check on your partners as well. We also do have full UC online support, which I am an enrollment services advisor for this program. So I am one of those support people. There are a couple of other people in my position for this program as well. So if you ever scan these QR codes and ask for information, you'll get connected with one of us to help get all of that information passed on over to you. And if you complete the application and confirm your spot and decide to continue in the program, we will also pass you off to somebody who's your student success coordinator, who their whole job is to make sure that you're taking the right number of classes for your lifestyle, that you have the materials you need to succeed. They can be kind of a sounding board if you're having any issues. So you will have that additional support person throughout the whole course of the program as well. Okay, great. So this is all of my contact information. If you have any specific questions, feel free to send me an email. If you're interested in the application process, definitely scan that QR code, request information, get your own personalized person assigned to you, so we can kind of go in those case-by-case basis and help get you through that application process. But yeah, if you have any specific questions, feel free to send me an email. Awesome. I know we've got a couple more questions in the chat. Oh, I can take this first one. Can I visit campus as an online student? Absolutely. Our online students have full University of Cincinnati student benefits. The degrees don't even say the word online on them. It's just a University of Cincinnati degree. You'd be more than welcome to walk at graduation if you wanted to. You could get into our libraries, all of those good things. So we'd love if you come visit. Next, what makes this program unique? Jess, you want to take that one?
Sure. The MSIT program at the University of Cincinnati, it stands out for a few unique reasons. One is that strong cybersecurity focus. So UC is one of the few institutions that's been recognized as a national center for academic excellence in both cyber defense and cyber operations by the National Security Agency, or NSA. And so that recognition highlights the program's emphasis on cybersecurity education and research. We also have a multitude of classes that are giving you those hands-on technical skills. And so we're trying to give you practical experience through projects, labs, and real-world scenarios. So we're trying to do everything we can through every single class to make sure that you're well prepared for the demands of IT industry. We have that flexibility of being full-time or part-time, and we have opportunities to, if you currently are an IT professional, to count some of what you're doing with your company as a course project or a capstone. We have that experienced faculty from very a lot of different fields that are bringing real world experience into the classroom. We also have that focus on evidence based IT, which is emphasizing the use of evidence based practices in IT for decision making and problem solving. And we're just trying to ensure that our graduates are equipped with skills for making informed choices and sound decisions when it comes to implementing an IT solution.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We've just got one more question here. Are there office hours for me to schedule with my professor for some one on one support?
Absolutely. So, within the syllabus of every course, you're going to see either a link for drop-in office hours weekly, or you're going to see that there's that the faculty member schedules one-on-one appointments with students upon request, and so you can get one-on-one time with faculty members. But every single day between 9 to 5 p.m., we have something called the IT Learning Center, which is a group of graduate students that are available every day for tutoring or help. So if you struggle with a particular class, you don't even need to make an appointment. You can, but you can't just show up and say, "Hey, I'm really struggling. I've been trying all day to get this, this lab assignment to work. I'm trying to install NetBeans. I just can't get it installed. Will you just walk me through it?" They'll help read over an assignment before you submit it, or help you interpret the instructions of an assignment. So if you feel like you could look silly in front of your faculty member or something like that, or you just want a response now, you know that you can get it from somebody quickly.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Looks like that is all of our questions for now. I know that was a lot of information. Definitely feel free to reach out to me or scan that QR code to get connected with somebody if you have any questions at all, especially by personal case by case basis. These are also all of our socials if you want to get connected with us in any of these ways as well. And we thank you again so much for joining.